closer.
I know.
Hi.
Hi. It's okay being muddy for a good cause. Hi. Oh, you're so happy. You're so happy. We are off to work. Good morning. It is now Monday, October 9th. Didn't say anything yesterday, but honestly, I just wanted to be all day of yesterday. Just do nothing but relaxing and enjoy nature and all of that jazz. Sunlight's gotta make me sneeze. Sunlight. Yesterday I went to Allerton Park with Kelly and Sue. Kelly is my former work wife. She's the one that coined the phrase, not me. But it does work. It does work. So I think we walked for like 3 or 4 hours over a couple of the trails at Allerton Park. All I know is my Pixel said I walked 6 miles yesterday afternoon. I believe it. But it was so very much needed, and it was a perfect autumn day. It was crisp, but not too crisp. You didn't need a coat. Like, it was just gorgeous. So definitely needed that. And then I did dinner with my husband, which was also very nice. Right now, I'm just embracing the chance to do quote-unquote normal things that I would do around this time of the year. Because I know there's been a lot of stress and everything else. If you watch my last Vlogtober video, you understand exactly what's been going on. Good news is that we have, what do we have? Good news is that we now have, for the wake, we have a DJ, courtesy of my husband, reaching out to some individuals and finding someone who can do this on such short notice. Hi. So I'm emailing them tonight. We know where we're getting the food from, so we just have to fill out an online form for that. We already have the location. I know I am performing. I am in talks with one other performer right now. And then we'll have a third performer that I need to find. But I honestly, like, if luck is with me on this, I know enough individuals that I believe somebody will be able to do that. At minimum, we need 3. So that is what we are hoping for. all of that is going to be after work tonight, sometime after 5 p.m. Because right now I am on my way to the office. I'm actually going to be out of the office for a majority of this week, starting Wednesday, for everything involving the service and the viewing and everything else. So, trying to get things organized for this, so I'm trying to get everything organized of what I can get done today and tomorrow, or if something that I can't get done, what our intern can get done. At the very least, it is 55 degrees right now. It's going to be low 60s today, and it is sunny. Honestly, I can't ask for more than that. It is Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday, October 10th. I've actually gone to some places today and everything else, but I have been so stressed out and had so much anxiety, I completely forgot I even had my camera with me. I'm in one of those emotions right now where I just want to tell everybody to leave me alone. I feel like everybody needs me for something, and all I really want to do, no lie, is just shut off my phone for a full 24 hours, hide from the world, curl up in a blanket, and call it good. But I know I can't do that. And no offense to all my family and friends and everything else, but that is honestly just where my mind is at right now. So if you ever had the desire to just sit there and scream, I feel you. I really honestly do. But that is not productive, and I need to get things done. I need to get things done. Right now, I am on my way to Costco to try and pick up some medicine. One being my ADHD meds, the other being my birth control, both of which are very, very expensive, and the pharmacy is not aware that I have new insurance. So I got to let them know, hey, I have new insurance, you can charge this instead. And I'm really hoping that works. That's one whole thing that's been so frustrating in this entire mess, is I was on my husband's insurance, and then we switched to mine after everything happened. And my insurance through my employer is really good. I'm thankful for that. It's just, of course, not the same exact insurance company that was his employer, that his employer had. So, of course, everything has to switch over. Everything has to be pre-approved again. I could go on a rant on the American health insurance system. But this is not the place for it. Just know I have opinions, and I know a lot of Americans have a lot of opinions on our health insurance situation. But at least I have it, which is a lot more than I can say for some people, which is so not right. Trying to finish up work I can today before I'm off for the next 3 days, and I am not getting things like near enough done in my personal opinion, so I don't have anything scheduled until tomorrow afternoon, which is probably going to be back-to-back therapy sessions. One with my therapist, because I told her, no, I would like to keep my my therapy session for this coming Wednesday, because given how life has been, good chance I'll probably have more stuff to talk about. I do. I'm not gonna talk about it here, but yeah, I do. And I know that there's gonna be grief counseling with my brother's therapist, who is also the therapist for my brother-in-law, and there's gonna be a group of us down for that. So probably have that. What is going on? I just want to go to Costco. I have run into trains, slow traffic, just nothing's going right today, folks. Nothing's going right today at all. And your girl is at her wit's end. Look like I've probably just rolled out of bed, hair a mess, screwed up something in my shoulder getting out of bed, just stretching. I know that there could be plenty of "you're getting old" jokes, but whatever. So, this giant knot in my shoulder blade, hurts to turn my head, and I just want to make sure it's gone by Friday because I have to perform at the wake. And I'm talking with my brother tonight to figure out the performance schedule, because I need to nail down performances for other individuals, and I still need to find some of those performers, because the time frame for the event on a Friday evening on short notice is causing some issues too, because a lot of the people I normally go to for things like this, for fellow performances, they have prior commitments and other things, which I completely understand. That, and it's Friday the 13th, which means people have been booked already for other shows elsewhere. Because of Friday the 13th in October, also night of a full moon, not a full moon, a new moon, and an eclipse the next night, or next day, or something. Basically, people are busy, and I am trying my very best to make this happen. And if you couldn't tell, I'm feeling the stress. Although I am beyond thankful that my husband pulled a Hail Mary situation for finding a DJ. So at least that is off of my to-do list. And if this feels like a rant, it's not. I just gotta talk it out so my mind has things organized. And the more I talk about things, the better I feel. I just want sleep. I just want to sleep. I just want things to be normal. That's what it boils down to. I just want things to be normal. But they're not gonna be normal. And I think that is probably the most difficult thing about this. And of course, I get stuck behind a slow driver who does not know what the speed limit is. God's give me strength, because I know you're not going to give me patience. Hey everyone, it is Wednesday, October 11th. Yeah, October 11th. Honestly, I'm feeling a lot better than how I was feeling yesterday. Nice long phone call with my brother, kind of helped things out, and did an errand with my husband last night. This morning, woke up to find out that there was some good news for those around me. So that that actually was very, very nice waking up to, is that just like all I want for those around me is for there to be some good news in the universe. That's all I want. All I am asking for right now is just good news for the people that I care about. So today is a little different than what we had originally planned. Still going to my therapy appointment at 1 p.m. today. But wow, folks, you are not stopping at the stop signs. Holy crap. Yes, I'm still going to my therapist at 1 p.m. But before that, at noon, and it's 11:40 right now, I am meeting my brother and some other folks at the funeral home because there is a preliminary viewing for selected individuals. So probably a good thing that I have my therapy appointment after that. I'm not worried about me. I'm very worried for my brother. Very, very worried for my brother. So I have a feeling it's going to be a tough day. Honestly, I feel as if the next few days are going to be tough days. And I mean, when you're burying someone or saying goodbye to someone that you dedicated your heart to, it's not easy. It's strange. I normally know what to say or chat about or anything when I do these vlogs. But for weeks now, I've been running on fumes. It's as if my mind is in survival mode. And I haven't felt that in a very, very long time. Some days are good, some days not so much. And for me, the bad days are mostly because I'm just overwhelmed by everything. Or I feel as if I'm overwhelmed by everything. My husband thinks I'll feel better over the weekend, and he's encouraged me to start decorating over the weekend because he knows how much joy that brings me. So I might start doing that. We'll see. Honestly, I probably should because of how close it is getting to Samhain and Halloween. We'll see how I feel. Does anyone else in situations like this and times like this feel as if time's standing still and yet time is moving so fast? Like, I'm not trying to get philosophical here, but that's honestly what it feels like. Is that nothing is moving and yet everything is flying by. It's a very weird feeling. And honestly, I really don't like it. Alright, it's actually early evening now. Meeting up with some of our college friends who've known my brother and my brother-in-law for many, many years. So, just a kind of a puppers, all cute puppers, fluffy puppers. Honestly, it's what I've been doing an awful lot of, is just looking at cute dogs and cats. Can't have a cat because I'm very allergic to them, and I would love a dog, but admittedly my husband's not too sure of the commitment of that. I understand. I can still admire. But yes, looking at fluffy animals has been very helpful during this entire process. So I was wrong about how the pre-visitation was going, how the early personal visitation was going to go. My brother was actually fine, was actually okay. I was the one who started crying, and I actually was not expecting it. I really wasn't. Because the truth is that I was always, well, I am, obviously. This is why discussing anything involving death is so hard, because you keep switching between present and past tense. But between the two, obviously, I'm closer to my brother. And normally, anytime I was hanging out with my brother-in-law, I was with my brother. So we never really got any time between the two of us for ourselves, unless it was a medical emergency for my brother and I was talking to my brother-in-law and just letting him know it'll be okay and everything else. And we would just chat then. So I wasn't really expecting it to hit that hard for me. He is actually going to be cremated, and originally I wasn't going to take any of the ashes because for select individuals there are little pendants or vials where some of the ashes will be stored and that people can keep, and I didn't think it was proper for me because I didn't think we were really that close. But the more I've been talking with my brother, and the more I realize, I'm like, actually, yeah, we have actually a fair amount of memories, all of us together. And I can still hear his voice. I can still see his smile. That smirk. That really smirk. Like, I imagine all of it. I know I almost never say names, but I would be remiss in not remembering him the proper way without saying his name. His name was Michael. His name was Michael. He loved weasels, of all things. Ferrets, weasels, stoats. Loved stoats. Anything involving a stoat. Favorite Disney movie was Lion King. And whenever Mike and my brother, whose name is Ross, whenever Mike and Ross went on their honeymoon, to Walt Disney World, they went everywhere trying to find things for Lion King, and they couldn't. Until they were about ready to fly home, because the airport, one store at the airport had a ton of Lion King stuff. And they just bought everything they could. Actually, his keychain still has a Lion King pendant on it. And I think the last Christmas gift or Yule gift, however you want to phrase it, because between Ross, Michael, and myself, and a couple of others, when we do Yule, like in our group of friends, we like doing either handmade gifts or gifts that are made by tradesmen and crafters. Something that you put thought into and had something someone put their heart and actually handled and things like that. It's kind of a tradition with us. I found a place that could do woodwork cutout lamps of different animals and nature backgrounds and everything. And I cannot begin to tell you how difficult it is to find weasel and stoat items of all the fuzzy animals in the world with their own merchandise. Weasels and stoats are not one of them. But I found that weasel, and yeah, when I was staying at Ross's place in the aftermath of all of this. I was sleeping on the couch in their office, and that's the office. One of the desks belonged to Mike, and on that desk was that lamp. Probably my favorite thing that's going to be happening at this wake is everyone gets to share the stories. Because I know it may sound cheesy, and I know there's movies out there involving this, but it's true. They may be gone, but the stories keep them alive, and they keep them here. But after today, I decided I was going to get one of the pendants to have some of his ashes. And I'm realizing my Samhain night is going to be a lot more involved than it's been in years. And probably not just for me. Actually making a very quick pit stop before I meet up for dinner. And it's something that I need, but not for myself. Gonna try to race me down this road. This is not an area where you speed on, my friend. You can deal. Stay back. I hate how people decide to drive through a neighborhood going down a road at 40. Who thinks that's a brilliant idea? And then you all get mad when someone backs out of their driveway. We all know we're only supposed to be driving 15 in this neighborhood. So it is now Thursday, October 12th. I am on my way to the funeral home, but not for the visitation. Instead, women from the families have been invited for a keening. So if you don't know what a keening is, it is a tradition, at least from the tradition that I know of, is a tradition from Ireland. I believe a majority of Irish keenings stopped during the mid-20th century, but for my brother's family, we're not blood related, but his blood family, they've still continued with keenings and wakes, which is where everything for today and tomorrow is coming from. So keening is done either for women in the family or women of the community, where they cry, and in some instances they sing specific songs to essentially ensure that the deceased soul is on its way. Now, while we are fairly certain that his soul has indeed left, that's what we were doing a couple of weekends ago to make sure that at least his spirit wasn't at the death site still. This is just it's essentially just a tradition to ensure that everything is fine. I'll admit, I have never done a keening before. I have never been part of a keening before. All of the funerals in my family, I come from a traditional Catholic family, Roman Catholic to be specific, while other sides of my family are Baptist. So very Christian style of mourning with our funeral services and everything else. But this will be my first that is this my first non-Christian funeral? Or at least non-Christian visitation and services? I think so. So I will admit, this is different. So I'm not too certain as to what I should expect. Although as I was putting my makeup on, I realized that that was probably a mistake to completely finish my eyes, since there's a good chance I'm going to be crying my makeup off. Which, in all honesty, I actually haven't had a chance to really truly cry over everything yet. And I'm not just talking about my friend, why are you not turning? And I'm not just talking about Mike's death. There's been so much that has happened in quick succession in my life that I realized I haven't had the chance to really sit back and process emotions. I've come to the realization that instead, I've been too tired to cry. I've been too exhausted to cry. I actually slept until noon today just because my body just did not want to get out of bed. I was too tired. And I have a very distinct feeling that there's a good chance that today all of that is probably going to break the dam. But at least it'll be healthy for me. Don't get me wrong, I've shed tears here and there, but I have not full out mourned anything. And it's not because I didn't want to. I just physically couldn't. I just didn't have the energy to. If that makes any bit of sense. And I have a feeling that's going to change over the next 2 days. Sorry for the bad light, but unfortunately it is what it is. It is Friday, October 13th, Friday the 13th. We have already done the memorial service. It was short yet very beautiful. So families were able to say their goodbyes. Ross wanted Mike cremated. and he chose to at least watch the start of that. He thought he was going to be the only one there. Lo and behold, a lot of his friends and extended family, myself, my husband, were with him for that, because there was no way in hell we were going to let him do that on his own. So Mike is now free. Now what's left is the wake, which is why I'm completely changing my makeup. As I mentioned earlier, either in this video or the last video, at this point I am losing track of time. Not gonna lie, I am exhausted. I am so tired. Like, I physically hurt. I'm so tired right now. But the wake is for happy memories and celebration of Mike's life. And I have been asked to perform at it for at least a little bit. So I am changing my makeup to match to at least some semblance of a performance makeup. So here's hoping this works well. Sorry folks, it is a very cloudy day, and if I turn this light on, you might not see me. Let me try. Oh, you can see me, it's just a big old ball right there. Sorry. Let's ignore the big bright ball right here instead right now. It is Saturday, October 14th. That was the longest that I have slept in weeks. I think I slept 12, 13 hours. I don't know. I know I had the craziest, most vivid back-to-back-to-back dreams. The ones where they actually just kind of flow into each other. And at one point I realized in a dream that I was actually in a dream and tried to force myself to wake up, and I woke up in another dream. So, it's one of those sleeps. But last night, for how anxious I was for everything, for how worried I was for everything, and trying to make sure that everything was going well and would go well and whatnot, I'm not gonna lie, I was so stressed and anxious to the point of actual near tears for the wake. just to make sure everything was good for all parties involved. And it went beautifully. I did not record a majority of it because I wanted to be there for the moment of it all. And I know some people out there probably wondering why I would film this entire process anyway. And the thing is, I don't know how to put it. I am willing to share my grief, to let individuals know out there that grief can be ugly. There is no straight line for it. My brother's grief has been a roller coaster of he's fine and then he's not, and then he's fine and then he's not. I also did not feel it was appropriate for me to show any of Mike's family, because that is not my place. They have their own grief. So no, I was not going to show a majority of the wake, because to be fair, the wake was for Mike's friends, his family, and all of those to remember him by and celebrate his life and share stories. And oh, there were some funny stories. Oh, there were so many funny stories. Some that I never knew about, and God's love him. So it was great. My performances, I was happy with my performances for the most part. And I'll admit, I think some of those performances were actually more nerve-wracking than any I've ever done for a convention or any choreography that I poured my heart and soul into over the course of months. Because in this instance, I wasn't dancing for myself. I was dancing for others. Normally when I take a stage, I am dancing for myself, but not this time. And this hit so close to home that my first piece that I performed to ex-ambassadors Unsteady, and it was at the request of Ross, my brother. There was 3 songs that I had been requested to perform that were always on Mike's playlist. It was Unsteady by Ex-Ambassadors, Someone You Love by Louis Capaldi, and Anywhere Away From Here, I believe, by Rag & Bone Man and Pink. I was very unsteady during Unsteady because the entire time of that I was chanting myself, do not cry, do not cry, do not cry, do not cry. Because there's one rule I have for myself when I take the stage, and it is that I do not shed a tear, no matter how close I am to doing it. Because I do have some pieces that I have to ground myself before I take the stage, perform, and then as soon as I get off, ground again because of emotions. And that was hard. And I only looked at my brother in the eye once, because I knew if I looked him directly in the eye, I would crack. If there's a slight color change here, that's because the battery on my last, my battery just went and I had to replace it. And I think there might have been slight light change outside in the window. Also, for those of you who are curious about the hoop performer from last night, his name is Luna Ball. He is a professional, he's actually training to be a professional circus performer. But I have known of him, and I have performed with him a couple times before. And I've known of him for many years. And not gonna lie, I have fangirled over Luna Ball since his early days. And I've just always been impressed with his showmanship and his ability and just everything about him. Beautiful man, heart, soul, everything. I respect him dearly. So I'm gonna leave all of his socials that I can. Go follow him, please. And if you ever want a hoop performer for your events, you can hire him. You can. So he will drive. Depending on where you're at, he will drive. So I will link that all down below. Because God's love him. He definitely knows how to put on a show. Everything yesterday went very well. I actually got to see some within the old LARP gamer crowd that I have not seen for some instances in close to a decade. I want our next reunion to actually not be something over grief. So, for all I know, we might be planning something like that in the future. Reach out to all the old crowd and be like, all right, everybody, what can we do? So, we're gonna try that at some point, I think. Just gotta figure out who's hosting and where. But yesterday was good. And it did indeed do its purpose. And honestly, that's all we could hope for. Is that those who have been really hit hard, truly hard by this entire process, we wanted at least a few hours where they could smile at the happy memories. And I'm glad we could actually do that. On the agenda for today is honestly absolutely nothing. I have so many things I know I should be doing. I should be decorating. I should be editing video. I should be cleaning this house. I should be doing so many different things, but right now, I don't want to. I want a day where I can just relax and do nothing. And I think that's what I'm going to do. The only thing that I want to do that involves me getting out of the house is going to the library with a book and curling up in one of my favorite spots at the library and read. And honestly, probably return one of the stands that we need, or like the heating elements that we had to borrow for the food last night. But that's about it. So that's on the agenda for today.